Hello there everyone, and welcome back once more to this Italian campaign. We're trying to unite the Italian kingdom, and since last time I've gone ahead and done quite a few turns to get stuff going. I repaired this barrack, and I changed out the opera house for a great arsenal. However, the Great Arsenal, for some reason, it takes a shit long time to recruit any kind of artillery piece. It takes for the 12 pounders, it's take 10 turns. To the, I think the lowest one was about 6 turns. So it takes a really long time to get artillery out there. But I've started making the trade route, so we're making a good amount of money from trade. They were getting in from the ivory trade, and yes, we've done quite a few technologies as well. Now, what happened just recently was that the United Kingdom declared war on us. My plan was actually to go against Sardinia Piedmont, but the British declared war on me, and that meant that... No, actually, it was actually the French who declared war on me first. And since there is a grand alliance of France, Great Britain, and Austria, they all declared war on me. But it looks like, let's see. So I'm not entirely sure, but Austria is allied with basically everyone for some reason. And even though Britain and France hate each other, they're allied. Luckily for me, the Austrians kind of joined the war without actually being properly prepared. So we have a possibility here of striking them and taking Venice, which is one of the regions we need, and possibly also Milan. So hopefully we'll be able to take those areas before the British Navy arrives and starts conquering our cities. So first things first, we're going to march directly towards this general, which is a very high star general, and there's a very small army, so I'm just gonna out-assault this. So we killed him, and we're able to continue on towards an unprotected Venice, and we gain steady under fire for one of our generals. Very good. One of the generals actually that I had in store died of old age, which I thought was pretty strange. So I only got 2, even though I technically had 3, but one of them died of old age, which I don't think have ever happened to me before. Anyways, we've marched this far. Time to end the turn and then see if we cannot attack and take Venice. Looks like an outer assault that as well. Then we're going to turn around, and I'm not entirely sure if we're going to go for for Innsbruck or if we're going to go directly from Milan, but I think Milan is actually more important. So we'll probably take that, and then we can see about maybe striking a peace deal with Austria and then prepare ourselves for the attack of the French and the English. And there we are back. So we got some technological advances, we've got election results, someone gained a trained confident general, recruits, and a fleet destroyed. So the French Navy has started attacking our trade fleet, which means that my money has very much reduced, and we're gonna try to evade the French Navy to the best of our abilities, and we're gonna have to go for a less lucrative trade with the spice trade coming off Malta. Possibly even going with our ships over here, getting the coffee instead. So I went from, I think I made 3,000 plus a turn to only half of that. Good thing, however, was that I was able to intercept a load of troops that were moving around here trying to go to Venice, and I out-assaulted all of them. So you can see my troops have lost some men, but we were able to completely destroy everything around here, and so now we can lay siege, and I'm gonna demand the surrender, and there we have it. We have taken Venice. Very nicely done. I cannot go ahead and repair any of this. Let's see if I move out. They will still actually be happy with me, kind of ish. We're gonna leave a troop of 4 units to hold that fort, and then the rest of the army is going to go for Milan. I think we're probably gonna stop at... No, there's nothing there, so we can continue straight forwards into Milan and take that as well. So far the British Navy hasn't been spotted. We got a trade route here, so we will see once they pass through here. So we got a bit of a British Navy and something over here. One thing, we are trading with, let's see, the Danish. We're kind of on a good relationship with them, but they're being invaded by basically everyone. For some reason Denmark is being invaded by everyone. They're at war with the Austrians, with the Great Britain, France and Prussia, so all the great nations really are at war with them. They are allied with Sweden, but for some reason Sweden did not come to their aid. But so far they've actually destroyed quite a few enemy nations, or enemy armies, under the command of the Prussians that were moving in. So at least 2 full stacks have died on their way, trying to take down Denmark. Looks like it's going really well here against the Austrians. Reason why is that because the Austrians are at war with the Ottomans, and as we can see, the Ottomans, they start off with only this territory, but they've retaken the Greeks, or Greece. They've taken this, which was Serbia. This was its own nation as well. The Austrians have taken back Hungary from that. So all the other sort of freedom fighters that you can start as, or as specific to this mod, have fallen. So it's only me left, which is kind of concerning. Also, it's kind of a concern. Also, we got this that was supposed to, as we are trying to break free from the chains of tyranny, so do other peoples around Europe. The people of Greece has been under the yoke of the Ottoman Empire for hundreds of years. Now they started a revolution and freed themselves from the Sultan's grip. It's time they were united with our Greek brothers and sign an alliance. Both of our revolutions have freedom as their goal. This alliance can be a star of an international revolution movement, can export to other oppressed nations. I would have gone 20,000 for that. Only problem is that the Greek nation was, or the Greek rebellion was snuffed out by the Ottomans before I had any chance to intervene there. Anyways, let's go ahead and then turn and see what our enemies are up to. And there we are back. So we've got more troops recruited in Rome and ancillary gained for our general. Debauched nobleman. This man's appetite for wine, women and song knows few bounds, and he does not care much for singing. So he's a confident general, but he is also... Wait, this is not the guy. It's one of the other generals then. It must be one of these guys then that has got that debauched, because this guy wasn't debauched. Is it one of... no, choir master. Is it one of the ministers? It's debauched. Banker. Justice. No? It must be one of the other generals then. And apparently I cannot demand their surrender. So we're gonna have to fight them. Out-resolve. And occupy. Gonna go ahead and repair here. And we're gonna go ahead and repair... Possibly better to repair the fort. So northern Italy is now under our control, and as accordance with the objectives of this, we hold quite a few provinces that were supposed to take: Austria, Serbia, and Sicily. But of course, I'm gonna extend this to include basically everything that is Italy today. So we're probably gonna have to take part of this region just to add that on, and definitely Sardinia, Piedmont. The French are at war with us, so Corsica is definitely a target. And yes. Oh, they actually got quite a sizable force of militia. We should be able to punch our way through that. And there's only 3 turns left until my cannons are ready. Good. Very nice, but once again we find ourselves with not a lot to do, so ending turn once more. No, actually, we've got another college. So what we can do is we can start. I wonder why we cannot do any industrial stuff. But if this one's doing military, then this one can do. Oh, it's gonna take quite a while. What about metric system then? Quite a while for all these different technologies. What I could do is I could move some of the gentlemen, debauched noblemen. Oh, here he is. Conducts technology research. Wait. Points per turn -1, but happiness. Oh, so he's maybe. Oh, both of them are debauched. Right, so maybe that's not very good of them having actually being there to conduct research. The only thing they're good at is really drinking. So what if I move him here? He might improve the happiness of the populace. Yes. So he's not very good at actually conducting research, but what they can do is they can drink and party to ease the suffering of the population of Venice and Rome. Anyways, let's go ahead and end turn and see what our enemies are up to. And there we're back. So we failed to establish an alliance with the Greeks, but well, there were no Greek nation states, so it's kind of hard. Also, our navy was run aground here by the French navy and destroyed. We got a new gentleman, but he's as bad as the others. He's even worse, actually, because he's a trickster. Which means he just gives 1- to research. Meaning, really, that all my 3 different diplomats, or what's it called? These idiots are all really just shit. All 3 of them are not really that useful. What you can do, since you're so worthless, is you can actually try to duel. So duel this man. We'll see what happens. Pistols at dawn. He's a bit of a trickster, so I imagine he's going to try to cheat. Oh! I hope that was not our man. Our man shot himself in the face. Oh, your own opponent was killed. One of the most and one of the best intellectual minds of Austria was killed, and Austria joins our enemies. Very nice. It's getting worse and worse by each hour for the Italian cause. But we actually have an Austrian army that has turned up, so it's time, I think. Oh, they haven't even invested in roads in the part here of Milan, of northern Italy. But it looks like it's time for us to actually go into a proper battle for this video. So let's, without further ado, go ahead and attack the Austrians and crush this area right here in the middle. It's a shame that I cannot capture these guns when I attack this army. They actually outnumber us, but in terms of troop quality, our men are quite experienced compared to the enemy. The problem is the Jaegers. They have quite an high accuracy, and the enemy has also got cannons. So we'll see how this goes. Anyways, on to the battlefield. And here we are on the battlefield, so quite nicely done of the enemy. They have actually gone ahead and showed us where their troops are. Holy shit, now there are 240 men in each unit. That's some rather large Austrian unit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly move in, try to destroy the Jaegers and these cannons, and then set up in a strong position along here and hopefully destroy the Austrians as they wheel to try and march over here. So let's quickly start to march forwards here. We're gonna get the cavalry to go towards the forest and then attack the Jaegers. And we're gonna get a rest kind of moving like so. And right now it looks like they're actually limbering the cannons. So I'm gonna get my hussars as quickly as possible right down this way. So they've hidden a mine here, so we gotta be careful about that. And I think the other Jaeger unit has probably placed one over there. Yes. So we want to avoid those. Try not to blow ourselves up. So they're actually leaving their cannon unit here very much exposed. And so what we're going to do is these two units are going to charge the Jaegers, which seems to be putting out spikes right now as we speak. Hopefully we'll be able to hit them before they do that, and it looks like we are. The Jaegers are pulling back. The cannons were overrun within seconds and utterly destroyed. And my cavalry has now reached the Jaegers, and they're trying to run away, but they're being cut down to a man. And looking at the position now of the Austrian army, it looks like we should redirect our force like so and then march across this hill to attack them. Cavalry are in a good position to move around the big forest and strike at the back, trying to get those enemy Jaegers and cannons. So the cavalry is now ordered to move around the forest, we're probably trying to as much as possible to attack the Austrians here when they're not in the forest. I might, you know what, we'll keep one of the cavalry units here, because I don't think just by firepower that we'll be able to shoot down those very large Austrian units. So we're probably gonna have cavalry to come in to break the morale of the enemy soldiers before we are able to actually, or that's the plan, to break them down, really, because those are very large units. Looks like this one's actually moving towards the cavalry unit, but it is on the other side of the slope there, so it should be covered from fire by this unit. We're gonna get this one to come in quite close and be able to pour down shots on them. So right now we're really focusing in, hammering this unit. And I think it's rather interesting that the rest of the Austrian army kind of has elected to allow us to destroy this part, that we're able to sort of outmaneuver these units here. This unit is kind of in trouble, so we're gonna pull those guys back. I mean, they have the advantage in numbers, but just because they've got that cannon, they want to play defensive, like the AI usually does. We're gonna push forwards here, because we want to break that one unit pretty darn soon. Or at least we can start focusing this one. Call in the cavalry to come sweeping down from the hill and start killing the Austrians down here. Keep it up, soldiers. You know what? I think this unit can even go even closer. They've suffered heavy casualties, and I imagine they're soon about to actually break. And now they're repositioning. And these guys are in really bad position, because they've drawn the line in a very poor way. They're down to about 100 men, but they're still standing. But not for long. They look like they're about to break. And then the units can focus in on the guys in the forest, the 88th Regiment. There we go, they are broken. I want all the units to focus in on the 88. And what we're going to do with these units is we're going to move them to an angle here, come through the forest and attack this one unit, the 61st on the side. Let's see, the cavalry could possibly come in, take out the Jaegers and the artillery at this point. So we're hammering these guys. And what we're going to do is we're going to advance everyone while the cavalry comes in. Strikes the enemy from the back. And then I'm gonna tell the men to once again open fire upon the enemy. As the cavalry draws back. So we put them at a bit of a disadvantage and they weren't able to return fire, and now our men are ready and they're a lot closer than they were before. However, the enemy is actually clever enough to move up their force at this point. I'm gonna send my force up there close. Oh, there's 60. Let's see. Can we charge here? See if we can get the advantage of the enemy. And then cavalry gonna have to strike this unit again. Where's the general? We need to get him up here to support. I just recently managed to unlock so I can actually inspire my troops. And there we have it. The cannons are gone. Go in and help out against the Jaegers. And we were able to strike those guys down.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Now we need to redraw the line to come against these guys. It's still a very tough fight here because there's the enemy still has an advantage, even though we have we've managed to cut down a lot of his units. There's still very many Austrians left. We have a possibility here, so I'm gonna move quickly into the flank of that unit. Oh, he's pulling back. I'm gonna pull up as he pulls back. And we're gonna get these two infantries to come through there. And all my hussars are fighting in the forest against the enemy dragoon. No, it's not actually dragoon, it's chevalier. Still kind of a heavy medium cavalry unit. So we've broken down the 26th and they're pulling back, and we are winning on this side as well. Let's get the cavalry beyond the forest and attack from the back there. These guys redraw the line because we have a very strong concentration of Austrian troops in this area. Before the rest of the battle, we're actually kind of breaking the enemy. And I want to see if I can inspire one of the units here to deliver enough fire onto the 86th to actually break the 86th. We're gonna get the hussars coming in behind, ready for a charge.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
What I could possibly do is I can inspire this unit, get them to fire a bit, and then drive it home by a bayonet charge. And then get these 3 units, actually these 4 units, to come along here and pour down fire upon the enemy. Okay, so we have a unit there. It's out of ammo. It needs to pull back. Same for this one. So we're now kind of split in two. There's a gap in our lines, but I don't think it's going to be that bad. Oh, more units are out of ammo. This one and this one. So all the units on this side are out of ammo. But the lines on the hill still have ammo. Let's see if we can get the hussars to quickly move in and attack here. We're gonna get the general to be right in the center. And the Austrians are retreating, trying to retreat at least towards the forest. Oh, they were able to form square, but that's just gonna make a great target, and they weren't able to open fire on the line infantry. But the hussars aren't gonna be able to... oh, well, you know what? The square broke apart. But there's a risk of us shooting our own cavalrymen, so we're gonna pull out of the square. And it looks like these two Austrian units are actually heading for the hill, so they're giving up. Cavalry is badly bloodied, but they're still in the game.
Our men are running, sir.
The Austrians are broken and are retreating, and I imagine it's only a matter of time before these two hit the edge of the map and we have won the battle. And there we have it. Victory over the enemy. Heroic victory at that. And there we have the results. So our army, even though outnumbered by the enemy, we still lost a lot of men. And we actually are remaining at quite equal numbers to the enemy. So we're gonna have to pull back before we attack the enemy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move towards Venice, get these guys in reinforcement. Actually, what I could do is I could get these to attack here, and could destroy these before they return to Tyrol to... there we go. Let's see if we can pull forward and see what they've got there. They've got some grenadiers and some other stuff, but we should be able to take that. So very good fighting for this episode. And we've conquered quite a bit of land, and we're probably going to conquer even more. Hopefully we'll be able to strike a peace with the big nations that are at war with us, and so we can continue to consolidate all the Italian lands into one, and win this campaign. Hopefully I'll get some missions that I can actually accomplish. Right now, the last one was to ally with the Greek nation. What we could do is actually attack and see about liberate the Greeks and create them as an independent state for us. But I'm not entirely sure if you can be a protectorate, have a protectorate while you are a protectorate, because technically we are a protectorate of the Kingdom of Sicily, which would be kind of a strange thing to be a protectorate within a protectorate. Thingamajiggy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!